Hey, all right, Dealin Hope number 13. Wow, what an awesome deal. Every Monday night, having the opportunity to get with you, connect with you, and join in from all around the country, all around the world. Dealin Hope, receiving and living in. Sorry, I'm working on this camera, trying to get it situated. Wow, some technical difficulties tonight, but it's not going to stop us. We're going to talk about a bright future tonight. We're going to move towards what's available. We're going to set our mind and set our focus on things above and not beneath. I'm out on the road tonight. I'm not driving. I've pulled over in a parking lot, and so no worries there, no fear there. We're going to take a few minutes and talk straight to you tonight, and look at the reality of a bright future. So start hitting those likes, start hitting those hearts, share this, get this out there, because we are living in a era of time that has been way too consumed with some kind of angle that we're doomed and destined for despair, doomed and destined for things to get worse. We've been locked into a cycle of thinking that has left us in the place believing that we don't have an opportunity for things to get better on a global scale, a worldwide scale, and we're simply left to try to hang on long enough and live out the calamity that is destined to be upon us, to see if we can make it, to see if we'll be able to even hold on and be able to make it to where it is we're trying to go. Sorry, guys, again, messing with this camera. But tonight I want to talk to us for a few minutes to challenge those ideas, to challenge those concepts, because we are those who have this hope. And the reality is that we have something that we call hope that is a force and a thrust that pushes us forward in a boldness that we do not encounter otherwise. And it's a boldness that even allows us to take the opportunity to change our thinking, to take the opportunity to step into new realities, to step into new understanding, to step into new revelation. And we've been raised for far too long on concepts that the design and heartbeat of God and heartbeat of Father for some reason is set against us, meaning like his heart is against the world, like his intention and his design and his forethought or foredestined, or dare we say predestined idea is to see the world collapse, to see the world crumble, to see the world fall into devastation. And the reality is that is something much different and actually much opposite of what Jesus shows us. Jesus never showed us destroying things or breaking things. He never showed us that the design of Father was to come and destroy. He came to show us that the heart of Father is to come and heal and mend and restore and redeem and rebuild and bring forth that which flourishes, that which glorifies, that which reveals the reality of his goodness. And you and I are of the era, are of the day, we are of the place within the heartbeat of God, that we are actually the ones he's intended and designed, like sons and daughters, to actually partner with him and bringing forth a bright future. Listen, I don't know how much you've been taught or how much you've been considered or how much you've ever thought about, but the reality is the heartbeat of Father is not for things to get worse. His intent and his design are for things to get better. It's always been the deal. Even if you want to take it all the way back to the story that we're told happened back in that place called the Garden of Eden, where we see mankind step into a devastating situation and unlock brokenness into the course of the human psyche and the human experience. And it's even in that moment which Father did not run away from. He did not come with destruction. He did not come with terror. He did not come with vengeance. He came with a heart of healing. He came with a heart of restoration. He even came with the full-blown promise of redemption. And that thing called the serpent would have his head crushed. In other words, deception would find itself unraveled and destroyed. That promise of Father has been what's walking out through human history, to where we come to the place to find and see the work and the finished work of Jesus as the Christ, who is the revelation of who Father is, what Father says, how Father wants things, the way Father goes about things, the heartbeat of what Father's heart is like, which is towards us and for us, not against us. And that promise came to unwrap the deception and to crush the head or the authority or the governing structure of deception that invaded humanity back in the garden. And it was out of that which we saw resurrection, even in the midst of death and the cross, right? It was resurrection that came after the destruction of Christ's body. It was resurrection that came after Christ. It was restored life. It was newness. It was brightness. It was improvement. It was something better than what took place on Sunday. What was better than what was going on that Good Friday or that Dark Friday, right? And so the heartbeat of all this communicates that the passion and the interest and the design of Father's heart is for your life, your home, your family, your business, your financial situation, your mindsets, your emotions, your capacity to live at the fullness. The passion of Father is to see you live fully alive, and we believe that a culture of hope is the best atmosphere for that to happen. It elevates your capacity to thrive. And so there has to be a place where we continue to talk and dialogue over the reality that perhaps some of the things we've been told about the future have simply been misplaced, misunderstood situations that people have looked at in Scripture. What most people park as a destructive and devastating future is actually been in our past. We don't have to be those that are confused about this. We don't have to be stuck in a situation of having this dark cloud hanging over our head like it's the design and, dare I say, predestination of God to see the earth collapse and destroyed and to see humanity devastated and wiped out. The passion and heartbeat of Father is to see mankind and the world thriving in the fullness of the potential that He set in it clear back at creation. So the question becomes, for you and I, are we those who are going to participate with a brighter future, or are we going to be those that would want to hang on from a perspective that there is decline that is forecasted, there is destruction that is imminent, there is a collapse that is in the design of what God intends for the earth. And what I want to help us understand is those have been misunderstood situations because we've not looked at Jesus as our standard of understanding concerning the heartbeat and the design and the desire of Father. And so you and I have to become the ones who can at least embrace the scripture we see from Ecclesiastes that says the end of a thing is better than its beginning. Wow, that's a powerful statement. That's certainly something that you can embrace as a son and daughter. That's where you can begin to grip and hold on to the scenarios and the situations of your life where you're looking at maybe that are quite challenged, maybe that are quite difficult, maybe that are perhaps even broken or hurting or in a very traumatic situation. The reality is the end of a matter is better than its beginning. So that's the intent, that's the design, that's the desire that Father has and has always had, is to see things move from a state of the state of potential and move into the fulfillment of glory. And it is there that we can understand that verse even applies to the world. It even applies to history. It even applies to the future of where we're looking. So imagine this, hear this through the lens of that verse. The end of history will be better than its beginning. Boom! Whoa, that's a pretty serious deal, especially in light of a whole lot of devastating things we've been told for a long time that somehow that the end of time was going to be the worst place time has ever been in. That is extremely contradictory to what Scripture informs us. We cannot just remove Ecclesiastes saying that the end of a thing is better than its beginning. So whatever it may be that we imagine or picture was like back in Eden, back there, quote, in the beginning, then we can understand if that's how it was then, somewhere and somehow down, if you will, at this place that's called the end, whatever that may be, but whatever we perceive would be in the future, that scenario is going to walk out and look even better than what was going on back in Eden. That's a pretty serious deal. I mean, I don't know how it all works out. I know I'm talking to you over a cell phone that has waves that are going to satellites floating around the earth and coming into where you are right now. That wasn't going on in Eden, yet all of the material that has created these devices was actually inside the dirt already back there. And those beginning days were not digging into the dirt and creating iPhones or whatever device you're using, but we've created it now. We've unlocked further potential that was in the earth back then. We've materialized it now in this realm, and we're those who are going to continue to see the things of earth improve, not just materialistically like more tech devices or better cars or whatever the case may be, but the reality is that we're going to see the improvement and the advancement of things in the earth unlock and unfold further glory. The heartbeat, the design, and the interest of Father is to see the future become brighter and brighter. And certainly there's been dark turns within history, and there's been brighter turns within history. And we might even find within our lifetime there being moments of downturns or darker times, but that is not the end of the story. That's not the end of the day. That's not the place. Even in what Father said, that's recorded in Genesis 1, that it was night that came before day. And so brightness is communicated clear from the beginning of creation as the outworking of where we're headed. You're not headed towards something darker. You're not headed towards something in a decline. You're not intended to go to a worse scenario. You are designed and fashioned, and the passion of Father is to see you move into that which is brighter, that which is more glorious, that which is a fuller and more fulfilled scenario of living. And all of history itself is designed to walk out into a brighter situation. But it's going to take the reality of mankind coming into the revelation that it's the intent of Father for us to go to a better situation. And as it stands kind of currently, we have a whole lot, if not even perhaps still the majority of Christianity perceiving that it's the interest and heartbeat of God to see decline as the end of the story. But we have to see if we are those that will participate in a bright future. We have to continue to see the rethinking and the reforming and the reshaping of understanding and thought come into the place of embracing that Father's design and His interest are for things to improve, to get better, to move forward, to see injustices removed from the earth, to see poverty moving into a lesser and lesser place. We are those who have this hope, and the boldness that we have is a place of a thrust forward to say, I'm going to participate in what will cause things to be better. I'm not going to simply just sit back and just try to hold on and just wait for just one more day to get through and live life in a place of a dark cloud hanging over our head where we may feel okay in ourselves, but we then embrace that somehow God's design is for the collapse of the world. That's not His design, and it's not where we're going, and it's not where things are headed. Ultimately, humans can participate with downturns. We can participate with darkness. We can participate with that which actually moves us backwards. But the design, plan, and interest of Father is for a bright future. So we have the full option. We have the full availability. We have the full place of being able to say, I'm not going to participate with that which brings decline, but I'm going to engage in that which brings increase and advancement and elevating the capacity to thrive. I'm going to actually be a culture of hope within my circle of influence. I'm going to be I'm going to be a culture of hope in my marriage, a culture of hope in my family, a culture of hope with my parenting, a culture of hope in my business and in my company, a culture of hope on my campus and through my ministry. I'm going to create the environment that elevates others to thrive, and that's the position that Father has set up for sons and daughters to be the influencers and the leaders of the earth, of society, and ultimately the leaders of the future that will move towards a brighter condition and a brighter situation than we currently are experiencing and that which we've experienced ever within history. I want to say this to us from an American mindset. We're not trying to get back to the 1950s. That wasn't the ultimate. We're not trying to get back to some earlier stage where everything was somehow better. No, we're moving towards a brighter future. We're not even trying to get back to the garden. The garden was just the beginning. We're not trying to get back to the book of Acts. We're trying to go on into the leavening of the earth with the leaven called the kingdom, the heartbeat of Father in the earth. We are those that are moving forward, not trying to get back to something we perceive was a better day or a better time. We are those that are now moving into shape a brighter future. So that's you, that's me. We're a culture of hope moving together. And the first place that you need to start, that I need to start, that we need to give our attention to, because whatever we focus on, we will have more of. Where our energy goes, where our focus goes, that's where our energy goes. And so what it is that you've got in your eyesight, in your focus, whatever you've got set in your mind is what you're going to bring forth in the scenarios of your life. So the first place we have to see a culture of hope develop is literally within your thinking, within your mindset, and within your heart set, within your focus, with that which you're giving your attention to, your focus to, must become the place that we first see a culture of hope that develops and begins to shape in your thinking, so that you move in a place of boldness to be that culture of hope in your neighborhood, in your community, in your circle of influence. You are the one who has been sent and set as a culture of hope to move in the place of boldness that challenges the status quo, that breaks the hold of what is limiting, that releases and sets forward that which is available to come forward in the brightness and in the elevated place of thriving, that you are the one designed to carry that out. I couldn't be more excited about it. I couldn't be more thrilled about it that you are connecting in ways to grow and to advance and to develop a culture of hope in your heart, in your mind, in your heart, and in the circle that you lead, that you influence, that your home can be known as a culture of hope, that your business can be known as a culture of hope, that your ministry, that which you lead is a culture of hope that unlocks sons and daughters in boldness and elevates their capacity to thrive, because the design and the desire and the plan of Father is to see a brighter future than what you're even experiencing right now. You might be in the best place you've ever had life, and that is awesome. But there is still so much more in the heart of Father and what He has towards you. This isn't where we slow down. This isn't where we back up. This isn't where we take a rest. This isn't where we just say, well, we're good where we are. No, this is where we step in boldness and say we're going for more. At the Reader House, I set our family down probably 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago. At this point, we had a family meeting where we all sat together. Our 4-year-old, our 7-year-old, our 10-year-old, our 13-year-old, and Angela and I together all sit there, and I communicated the passion for the Reader family is that we are going for more. And so we went around the room and we started talking about what does going for more look like to a 4-year-old? What does going for more look like for a 13-year-old or a 10-year-old? What's going for more look like for myself and for Angela? And we began to discuss in our family what it looks like for us as a family unit to go for more. And we've been going after it, we've been pursuing it, and we've been seeing even a larger or broader capacity of who we are being walked out, making impact, giving influence, materializing the passions and the dreams that are within us. And that's what you have the capacity to live in and move in as a culture of hope, that you move forward in all of who you are and stop holding on to limited thinking that wants to say to you, settle for something less, when you have the capacity to go after everything that's in your heart. You may not even know how it'll happen or how to go about it, but when you set your attention and set your focus on, you will be surprised to watch the understanding materialize. The answers just begin to appear. The voice of Father and the leading of Spirit take you into that which you need in order to step into and bring forth that which you are passionate about, that which you are focused on. Make no doubt about it. Whether you want to focus on things getting worse or how bad everything is, you will create more of what you're focusing on. Or if you want to set your attention and your mind on things that are of a higher consciousness and a higher reality and a higher perspective, then you'll materialize that. If your focus is set on the present reality of hope, the unconditional assurance, Father's goodness prevails, you are going to materialize what that unconditional assurance brings forth, which is His goodness and the boldness to move in that and to not shrink back and to not be intimidated, to go after everything of who you are and everything that's available for you. So tonight, we're going after a bright future. We're going for more, and we're setting the challenge out for you, and we're putting in front of you in your household, in your family, in your business, in your ministry. What is it that you're going for more? Man, I love to hear this. If you want to take this the next step with me, once you send me a message through Messenger and tell me what it is that you're going for more. I love to hear it. I've been getting responses and communication back and forth from people that are engaged with these Dealing Hope times, but I would love to hear 2, 3, maybe 5 things, if you got it, that you want to say that you're stepping into because you're going for more. Let's do this together. Let's connect in this in boldness. Listen, there's nothing more powerful than writing down that which you are setting as your dream, as your passion, as the thing that you're going for. Maybe it's even just the next step in the thing that you're going for. What is that? Set that down. Get that communicated, because there's something that does that unlocks within you the present reality of hope, so that you move in another measure of boldness. We need you. The earth needs you. A bright future is waiting for you to engage at another level, so that that bright future manifests and materializes not only for our children and their children, but even for further generations yet down the road. We're going for more. We're going for a brighter future. We're with you. We believe in you. We love to hear from you. Hit the hearts and the thumbs, comments below. Share this with others that you know that need a good shot, a good dose of hope, so that we deal this hope out there everywhere. So bless you guys. We're with you. Can't wait to hear from you. Have a good night. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next time. See you later.